Thank you. As I have 4 minutes to address a $203 billion budget, I'm going to focus on one line item, and that is $21.7 million for EDD, DIR, and DOJ to enforce last year's Assembly Bill 5. Let's be very clear about what this is. It's $21 million to take aim at small businesses, to audit and prosecute them, to fine and penalize them, to bully and harass them when they are struggling to survive like never before. It's $21 million to finish the job of decimating a community of independent professionals as diverse as California itself, spanning hundreds of professions, many of the most talented people in our state, and many of the most vulnerable people in our state. It's $21 million to shut down gainful work and destroy livelihoods when there are more unemployed Californians than the entire population of half the states in the country. One such Californian is a woman named Monica. "I am a 61-year-old cancer survivor," Monica wrote. "AB5 destroyed my life, taking my over-the-phone interpreter job. Who will hire a sick senior like me? I was making good money, taking my breaks when I feel like it. During my chemotherapy, this job was my salvation against depression. It made me feel useful, helping people in hospitals, pharmacies, hotels, rental companies, immigration agencies, and much more. When I was interpreting, I didn't even think about any bad things happening in my life. Since January, I live with depression. Some days I don't have strength to get up in the morning. I just crawl and cry because for 8 years I've been waking up to log in and start to work. Sometimes I wish I could die. My name is Monica, and this is my AB5 story." Governor Newsom doesn't care about Monica. That's clear from this budget. Governor Newsom has denied that people like Monica even exist. Governor Newsom is all too willing to create many more Monicas as a rich reward for the special interests with the most juice at this Capitol. It's $21 million, one line item in a sprawling budget. Yet there is so much dishonor packed into that one line, coiled more tightly than a strand of DNA. It tells you everything about what's become of California government. No serious person honestly believes on the merits that it was a good idea to pass AB5, much less to invest in its enforcement when we have record unemployment and a record deficit. The founder of the liberal Daily Kos, to take one example, called AB5 disastrous and its supporters shameful. Gavin Newsom's own former deputy chief of staff, Yashar Ali, said it's one of the most destructive pieces of legislation in the last 20 years. 150 PhD economists wrote an open letter to the governor saying AB5 is doing substantial and avoidable harm to the very people who now have the fewest resources and the worst alternatives available to them. This $21 million defies expert opinion, common sense, and basic human decency. Governor Newsom, members of the Assembly, I ask you to remove this funding and repeal this law.